Yeah, I mean, I think I communicate mostly with probably like NECA and player leadership more than anything, and I try to do the best I can, you know. I always want to be respectful of everybody and treat everybody with kindness. Like, I think that's really important, but at the same time, relationships are really important to me, and I think we can always improve in that area. I think that can improve a lot of things. I think communication can improve overall. Me and Adam have a great relationship. I know he was here tonight supporting us, so that was great to see, and you know, I think we can just probably continue to improve in that area. And like I said, like, communication and relationships solve a lot of issues and a lot of problems.
For years, the WNBA has celebrated incredible growth, record-breaking attendance, bigger television audiences, new superstar talent. From the outside, everything looked like it was finally falling into place. But behind the scenes, a storm was quietly building. Then, during the league's biggest weekend of the year, something happened that nobody could ignore. The moment Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's name echoed through the arena, thousands of fans erupted into loud boos. Not for a referee's call, not for a controversial play, for the commissioner herself. And suddenly, one question took over the basketball world. Is this the beginning of the end for Kathy Engelbert's time leading the WNBA? The timing couldn't have been worse. The All-Star game had delivered everything fans wanted. The energy was electric, the stars were shining, and Caitlin Clark once again proved why she's become one of the biggest attractions in all of basketball. The crowd was buzzing after an unforgettable game, and all that remained was the traditional trophy presentation. Normally, it's a routine moment. The commissioner walks onto the court, congratulates the winners, hands over the trophy, smiles for the cameras, and everyone moves on. But this time, that script completely fell apart. Before Kathy Engelbert could even reach center court, the boos began. They weren't coming from one frustrated section of fans. They echoed throughout the entire arena. They were loud, relentless, and impossible to ignore. Television broadcasters struggled to speak over the noise, as millions of viewers watched the awkward moment unfold live. And here's what made it even more significant. This wasn't the first time. For the second straight All-Star weekend, Engelbert faced overwhelming boos from WNBA fans. Once might be dismissed as frustration in the heat of the moment. Twice becomes a pattern, and patterns usually point to something much bigger happening beneath the surface. The reaction wasn't simply about one decision or one controversy. It reflected months of growing frustration surrounding league leadership, player relations, collective bargaining negotiations, and the belief that the commissioner has failed to connect with the people who matter most, the players themselves. In fact, reports had already begun circulating that Engelbert's future as commissioner was far from secure. Multiple insiders suggested that while she deserves enormous credit for growing the league financially, many around the WNBA no longer believe she's the right person to guide it through its next chapter. That's an important distinction. Almost nobody questions her business accomplishments. Under her leadership, sponsorships increased, television deals improved, attendance reached new highs. The league became more valuable than ever before. But running a successful business and leading a locker room are two very different things. According to reports, executives, team officials, and people close to the league have increasingly questioned Engelbert's relationship with players. Some even claimed she never invested enough time building trust with the league's biggest stars, especially Caitlin Clark, whose arrival has transformed the WNBA into one of the hottest stories in sports. Then came one of the most revealing moments of All-Star Weekend. During a media session, Engelbert was asked a simple question. Did she expect to remain commissioner beyond the 2026 season? Most executives facing that question would immediately answer yes if they knew they were staying. Instead, Engelbert didn't. She praised the league's incredible growth. She spoke about momentum, opportunity, and exciting milestones. But she never actually confirmed she would return. The missing answer immediately fueled speculation that something major could already be happening behind closed doors. When leaders avoid giving direct answers about their future, people notice. And in professional sports, silence often speaks louder than words. As rumors spread across the basketball world, another storyline was quietly becoming impossible to ignore, one involving the league's biggest superstar, Caitlin Clark, and the growing belief that her relationship with league leadership may not be as strong as many once assumed. Meanwhile, the tension surrounding Engelbert wasn't coming only from fans. Some of the league's most respected voices had already begun questioning whether the WNBA's leadership was keeping pace with its rapid growth. Veteran players openly criticized the league's direction, arguing that communication had broken down at the highest level. The criticism wasn't centered on television ratings or sponsorship deals. It was about trust. One of the loudest moments came when league leaders were accused of failing to build meaningful relationships with the very athletes responsible for the WNBA's unprecedented success. Those comments quickly spread across social media, sports television, and podcasts, putting Engelbert under even greater pressure. Instead of discussing basketball, the conversation shifted toward leadership itself. The spotlight grew even brighter because of Caitlin Clark. Since entering the league, Clark has become more than just a rookie sensation. She has driven record television audiences, sold out arenas across the country, and attracted millions of new fans who had never watched the WNBA before. Whether people love her or criticize her, there's no denying that she has changed the business of women's basketball almost overnight. That made every decision involving Clark far more significant. As physical play against Clark became one of the biggest talking points of the season, many fans questioned whether the league was doing enough to protect its biggest star. One incident involving Alyssa Thomas became the center of national attention after Clark was struck during a game. Reports later claimed that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver became involved behind the scenes before disciplinary action was ultimately announced. Although the WNBA publicly disputed parts of those reports, the story had already exploded online. Whether the reports were completely accurate almost became secondary. The damage had already been done. Fans started asking uncomfortable questions. If the NBA commissioner appeared more willing to publicly defend one of the WNBA's biggest stars than the WNBA's own commissioner, what message did that send about the league's leadership? Then Adam Silver added even more fuel to the discussion. Rather than focusing on controversy, Silver described Caitlin Clark as someone who had become a political football and said it was unfair that so many outside narratives had surrounded her instead of simply allowing her to play basketball. His comments were measured, but they resonated with fans. He wasn't criticizing the league directly, yet many interpreted his words as quiet support for Clark during one of the most turbulent stretches of her young career. Meanwhile, Engelbert continued emphasizing communication. During All-Star Weekend, she spoke about the importance of relationships, kindness, and improving dialogue throughout the league. She repeatedly stressed that better communication could solve many of the issues currently facing the WNBA. On paper, those comments sounded positive, but for many observers, they also raised an obvious question. If communication has become the solution, why has it become such a major problem in the first place? That question only became louder as reports surfaced suggesting that several league stakeholders believed Engelbert had succeeded financially but struggled to build the relationships necessary to lead the WNBA through its next era. And with every new headline, every rumor, and every public appearance, speculation continued to grow. Was the league preparing for a leadership change? Or was this simply another chapter in a season already filled with controversy? One thing was becoming impossible to ignore. The conversation was no longer just about basketball. It had become a battle over the future direction of the entire WNBA.